Good morning, close to good afternoon, traders. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Tuesday? Everybody should have had a nice long weekend, 3-day weekend. For some of us, and then the ones that may have had to work, that's still fine. Hey, it's two things about it, two ways about it. Either you're off or you are making money on a holiday. So either way it goes, it's all good. All right, guys. So I just want to go ahead and get into my trade for the day. Um, I did a little, I was just brushing up over the weekend. Not all weekend, but like Sunday, I was just brushing up on, you know, the skill set, the strategy before, because you want to make sure you just stay sharp with what you're doing. Don't just feel like you can just disappear for a long time, which you can disappear and then just come back and be sharp. So yeah, I just took a little bit of Sunday morning and just kept just brushed up on everything. But anyways, guys, that led to one trade again today. $30 profit realized, and then $20 and some change after commissions. All right, guys, so I'll take you right into that trade, guys. I actually traded it pre-market at, as you can see, at 9:11. So my thing about that, my whole belief about that, I know some people don't trade pre-market and some do. Um, to me, it honestly doesn't matter when the trade happens. Um, Pre-market, I really don't mess with after hours because by that time of the day, I'm just not, I'm just focused on other things. But yeah, pre-market or regular session, it really doesn't matter, guys. It really matters about the all it really matters about is the volume. If a stock has a good amount of volume, then you're good to go. You can trade it. It could be at 7 in the morning. Well, 7 in the morning Eastern time. I don't. It could be, that could be 4 in the morning if you're on the West Coast. But you get what I'm saying. So 7 in the morning. It could be 8, 9 in the morning. It doesn't matter, guys. If it has enough volume, a million shares, I would say I shoot for a minimum of, especially pre-market, it has to have a million. Anything under a million, I just probably won't touch it. Or if it has to have, I would say a minimum of like 700,000 minimum. Then you can trade it, guys. There's no restrictions. Now I know there are some brokers that do restrict pre-market trading. Robinhood. I know at one point they did. I haven't been updated on them, but to my understanding, they would allow you to trade from 9 o'clock on up. And then some brokerages are 8. And from what I see from CMEG, I haven't actually tried before 8, but I know from 8 on out you can trade. I have not tried to trade like at 7 o'clock, so you may be able to trade as early as 6, 7 o'clock Eastern time with CMEG, but I have yet to try it. As soon as I do, I'll let you guys know about it. All right, guys. So let me just go ahead and get into the trade, and then we can talk a little bit. So this morning, the trade that a lot of people were watching was this NVAX. As you can see here, I have the 10-minute and the daily here pulled up. All right, so it popped up on news of, well, basically it's been a outbreak in China. Some type of disease has been spreading. Coronavirus is spreading. So what that did was that pushed up a lot of the RX stocks, the vaccination stocks, and anything basically having to do with medicines. So that was a catalyst for NVAX. So anyway, I'll get into it quickly, guys. I saw it. Let me go down to the 1 minute. All right, so I saw it pre-market. It hit a high of 1017. Right now, let me show you. This line here is one of a prior resistance point on the daily. As I told you in the last video, you want to mark up your daily resistance levels before you even go into the zoom into a smaller time frame. You have to know what you're possibly running into or going down to as far as support. Um, you know, so you mark that up. So I marked up these levels here. You see this thing topped out. I'll try to Zoom in a little bit. You see it topped out here too. But I usually go if there's close ones, two close ones, I'll go to the higher one, because that just means the lower one attempted to get to the real resistance, but it just wasn't able to make it. But you want to mark the real resistance points. Otherwise, you'll be marking every little thing down here, down here, down here. You don't want to do that. You should be able to easily see. If it's a problem finding the resistance, then that's probably not a resistance. It should stand out. You see how this popped up and there's nothing else near it? Nothing else near it on the left or the right? Alright, there's your resistance point. Same goes for the next one and the next one after that. Alright. So this one, really I could have kept it up at this one, but just on the safe side, I marked this up, and then I marked. Obviously, everybody can see this one. This is the start of the gap right here, or the end of the gap in the case that it's coming down. But if you're going up, that's the start of the gap. All right. So anyway, I saw that. I made a notation of it, as you can see. So it went to consolidating in this area, basically this whole area right here. It was just a big consolidation point. You see what I'm saying here? Oh, it just bounced up and down. It wasn't going anywhere. Just accumulation. Just a lot of back and forth. So once I saw it breaking out of this, I made a note of the resistance. The resistance was right here, as you could see. It was about 4 or 5 minutes worth of resistance there. You see? So let me back it up. Yeah, so I marked that up. You see, it was a resistance for about really for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 minutes of just hanging around this 950 area. So I made a note of that, and I said, okay, if it breaks over that, I'm gonna be looking to get in. Um, so that it did. It did that a couple minutes later. Um, so I actually was trying to get in. The ask was at like 967, but at the same time that I pressed it, it got up to 970. So I ended up getting it at 970, as you can see here. I bought it, 200 shares. See, that's the thing. That's all I was able to buy. If I was able to buy more, this little win. If I was able to buy like 1,000 shares, then obviously this win would have been like $150, $200. So $150 because I got 15 cents. But you have to just deal with the hand you dealt. So anyway, I saw it bounce up over as it did. I got in, as you can see, at 911. So that was actually this candle. As you can see, and this is proof of that that the ask was actually at a different point at one point. The highest this candle went was 960. Let me see here. Move this out of the way a little bit. The highest this candle went at 911 was 968. But for somehow I got in at 970 and it was 911. Look here, it's 911. But this only went, so that lets you know sometimes the spread is what can get you. So you got to be very careful of the spread. Even though the stock never went up to the 970, which it should have went up to it when I bought it, but that's another story for another time. Some of these offshore brokers, sometimes, most of the time, they register onto the time it sells. Sometimes they don't. I can't explain that. That's another video. But anyway, got in at 970 for the break. It played around for a minute, and I saw it coming up towards the high, but it had trouble. I watched it. I watched the time it sells. It was having trouble. See, the high was 1017. It was coming up. It got to the 990 area, but I saw it starting to have trouble, and as it started to come down, I got out at 985, and it was good timing because after it just came all the way down from there. So 15 cent 15 cent on that trade, guys. With 200 shares, that's $30. So if that was 1,000 shares, that would be 150. If it was 10,000 shares, it would be 1,500. So it's all relative to the account size and the buying power. So that's why I tell you guys, don't look at the amount of money you're making. Just as long as you're executing properly, that's the key. The money will come. Don't worry. Trust me, the money will come. I've grown accounts before. I've lost a lot of them, and I've grew them. But I realize that the money will come, guys. And also, being that it is Super Bowl time coming up, Kansas City and 49ers, let's go. Either one. I figure I'll make it an analogy as far as when it comes to this, money making and slow journey, right? All right, so you make a small amount. Just picture it like football. You know what I mean? Um, you run the ball or you pass the ball. You get 3 yards, 4 yards a carry. Small. Those are small little incremental yardage compared to a full 100-yard field. You take those. You rather take 3 or 4 yards than negative 3 or 4 yards, and now is second and 15. You know what I mean? So -5 yard. So basically, you don't want to lose money. You want to just take those 3 yards, take another 3 yards, take the little, take the incremental yardage. Is what I'm trying to say. If I can compare that to money making with a small account, because sooner or later you're gonna break one. Just like Derrick Henry or one of those guys, sooner or later you're gonna break one, and when you do break it, it's going to be 30, 40 yarders into the touchdown because you were close enough to the touchdown, because you were incrementally getting closer and closer to the touchdown. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you kept going backwards, or when you get the ball, they hike the ball to you, you run backwards, you back 20, 30 yards. Now you just make 30 more yards. That's just to get back to the line of scrimmage. So I just felt like I would make a quick analogy video about football, being that it's the Super Bowl. I might have a couple more coming, being that it's coming up. So yeah, guys, take what you can get. Um, as Ross would say, base hits. Take those until it'll open up. It's better than zero, so or negative. So anything's better than negative. So anyway, that was a trade for the day, guys. I was looking around. I actually saw another one that I could have profited on, but I just I had to run off right after I made that trade, and I just came back and I saw it, but I wasn't in a position and mind frame to do it. So that was this APT. It actually, I saw it around the 440 area, and I wanted to kind of get in there, but I just let it run ahead without me. But that's it for the day, guys. He had $30 on the day, 20 after commissions. Slowly building this account up. But the good thing, one thing about it is it will have a snow. If you as well, if you have a small account, don't get discouraged with small wins. All wins are wins. All wins are wins. That's all that matters, right? It's a win. So eventually, those small amounts help your buying power. So therefore, say tomorrow or next week, you can take more shares. That's like your reward for taking those profits. That's your rewards for taking those profits. Higher buying power, meaning more shares, meaning more opportunity for higher profits in the end. So don't be discouraged, guys. If you get $10, $15, and you don't see anything else that day, don't try to continue trading and say, "Hey, I'm gonna trade until I get $100 or whatever." Don't just that time will come, guys. That time will come. All right, that's it for today, guys. I will be back tomorrow. If I see anything and I trade it, I'll let you know, guys. But that's it for today. Have a good one.